get this strut bar out of the way, and then loosen up some of these top bolts. Gonna have to do that on both sides. This side was easy to move out of the way with just loosening or removing those two nuts, but this dingle horn is in the way here. Looks like some sort of PCV thing. I'm assuming I should just be able to remove a couple components of it. I don't think I need to remove all of it. I think I'll just try this piece. Yeah, just removed this little mid piece and that piece of the brace. This other one I just moved out of the way. That'll at least give me enough room. So we're gonna actually want to loosen these control arm alignment bolts. There's a couple of them on this control arm, on the lower control arm, and we're gonna need to remove the top bolts. Before I loosen these, I'm actually gonna mark them with a Sharpie so I have the exact alignment settings to set it back to. It's still gonna need to get aligned, but it'll help a little bit, at least in the meantime. Need to remove the sway bar end link so we have more play. As you can see, there is no strut anymore. It's been removed. This stuff was loosened up so it fell down pretty easily. I do like to put it on top of something so that it doesn't you know, pull on the brake lines or the sensors. Here is their Bilstein. I'm gonna take it apart. All right, as you can see, the strut is apart. Keep all the stuff in some sort of order that you're not gonna forget because it needs to go all back together in the same order. The new spring has more coils and tighter coils and is a shorter spring overall, has a higher rate. Okay, once you have the new spring on, you need to get it all aligned right and then put back in. I usually like to use a small floor jack to actually jack the control arm and everything into place. It makes it a little bit easier to line everything up, and that's what we're gonna do. We've got it in there. We've got it all not snug, just loose. We can't snug up all the bolts that have bushings on them until we're at ride height. But one way to do that or imitate that is to just slightly lift the car using this corner and then tighten it all up, which I'm doing right now. You can see it's just slightly loose on the jack stand, just at this corner. Okay, now it's time for the rear. I removed the carpet over there and a metal piece. If you need instructions on that, I don't think you should be doing suspension. But anyway, I need to remove those two nuts up there, those two nuts up there, and there is, of course, all of the work to do down here. We're gonna wanna loosen all of the bushings again on all the links. I did mark the alignment settings, and time to go. Okay, once you've removed those two top nuts, should be able to lower this down a bit. There. And that should give you all the access that you need. One rear complete. Again, paying close attention to the markers. These were already marked. I marked this one as well, just so I get everything lined up when it all goes back together. I personally don't use a spring compressor to get it all back together because these are not that hard to compress by hand. All right, we've got the new springs in all 4 corners. Time to test it out. Drop the car down, we'll see how it looks. Got to get the trunk back in, and that's about it. End result, I would say it's a success. We got rid of that wheel gap, but most importantly, the ride quality is better, and it's got better performance. These are definitely a better match for the Bilsteins than the stock springs, and gone is most of that annoying body roll. I would say this was a perfect, inexpensive modification. Time for an alignment.